Hello friends, now in this lecture we'll start new chapter, that is statistics. Hello friends, now in this lecture we'll start new chapter, that is statistics. Okay, so what statistics is? See, statistics is a science which deals with the scientific methods of arranging and collecting the data for some special purpose. Okay, so we'll start with that presentation of data. Very first thing we'll see what is the presentation of data. Presentation of data. Suppose we have a raw data. For example, if we have the marks of one of your WRT, okay, now presentation of data, that we can present the data in that manner that from where we can conclude something. For example, if we arrange the data in ascending and descending order, we can find that the top 10 students or the bottom 10 students. So presentation of data means the arrangement of a data in such a manner by which we can get some conclusions easily is called the presentation of data. Okay, after this presentation of data, next we will see how we can present the data. So presentation of data in this, if the observations are less, okay, that depends on how many observations we have. If observations are less, so data can be presented in the alphabetical order or serial order. Okay, data can be represented in the form of serial order or the alphabetic order. Alphabetical or serial order. Okay, also it can be represented in the ascending or the descending order, or increasing or decreasing order. Increasing or decreasing order if the observations are less. Now, if the observations are large, if observations are, that means number of observations are less, that means suppose we are talking about 50 observations or 60 observations, and when the observations are large, suppose we have 1000 of observation, then how will represent the data? Now there are two ways to represent the data. First is called the discrete frequency distribution. Discrete frequency distribution. Okay, and another one is continuous frequency distribution. Okay, continuous frequency distribution. Okay, discrete frequency distribution or continuous frequency distribution. These are the two ways to represent it. Generally, we see discrete frequency distribution when the data is ungrouped, and this we generally use when the data is in form of group. Now, okay, this is actually I can write for group data, for grouped data. Okay, and this is for ungrouped data. Okay, over here we have to concentrate more on this. So there are two ways to represent the ungrouped data. Okay, there are two ways or methods to represent the grouped data. grouped data. Okay, one is called the exclusive method and another one is called the inclusive method. Exclusive method and another one is called inclusive method. Now what is exclusive method and what is inclusive method? For example, suppose uh, some data is given, or suppose I am talking about the marks obtained by students in a WRT of mathematics, okay, in a test of mathematics, and I'm grouping the numbers in this way. That means how many students got 10 to 15 marks, then how many students got 15 to 20 marks, then how many students got 20 to 25 marks, then 25 to 30 marks. Over here let 5 to 10 marks, in this way. Now here suppose one student got 10 marks, so where should I put that 10? Over here or over here? Because this is a 5 to 10, that means one student got 5 marks, definitely I will keep that student in this first group. If someone is getting 7 marks, definitely again it will be in the first group. Someone getting 21 marks will come in this fourth group. But if some student get 10 marks, so where should I keep that student? In first group or in second group? So here exclusive says that included. That means if someone gets 10 marks, I'll keep it in this second group. That means exclusive method is a method in which the upper limit is excluded. That's why it is called exclusive method. Now upper limit and lower limit, we'll see it in separate portion. Over here you can see this is lower limit and this is the upper limit. This is the lower limit of the second group, this is the upper limit of the second group. So exclusive method, in this method I can write that when the class intervals are so fixed, okay, when the class intervals are so fixed, are fixed in such a way, in such a way that upper limit is excluded, then the method is called exclusive method. Then the method is called exclusive method. Simple. Okay, example, I can write 0 to 5 or 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. Here we can also say in such a way that the upper limit of first class is the lower limit of the second class. Upper limit of the second class is the lower limit of the next class. Okay, here you have to keep this thing that upper limit is excluded, and that is why it is called the exclusive method. So note it down up to this point, then we will see after exclusive method, next we will see the inclusive method. Okay, so see, this exclusive method is also called the continuous method, because here you can see classes are in continuous form. So continuous method. Okay, after this, next is inclusive method. So in inclusive method, upper limits are not included in the class intervals. So next is inclusive method, that is also called discontinuous. So in this method upper limit of class is included in the class. Okay, for example, if the class intervals are 1 to 9, then 10 to 19, then 20 to 29, and so on. Okay, so if very clear, 9 will come in the first class, 10 will in the second class. Now a question may arise, if there is an observation of 9.5, then where should I keep it, in first or in second? But obvious, 9.5 won't come either in the first as well as in the second. Then what we will do in that case? In that case, we have to convert this inclusive form into the exclusive form. Okay, we have to convert this inclusive form into the exclusive form, and then definitely we will find the place for 9.5. Now how to convert this inclusive series or inclusive class intervals into the exclusive, that we'll see in the separate section. Okay, now we'll see some of the terminology that we are going to use throughout this chapter. Terminology related to the statistics. Okay, in this very first one is frequency distribution. Frequency distribution. What the frequency distribution? This is the method to represent the raw data in the tabular form. Okay, this is the method to represent the raw data, Now what is raw data? We'll see that as well. This is the method to raw data into tabular form using telemarks. Okay, now what is telemark, what is tabular form, what is raw data? We'll see each and every term one by one. Next is the frequency. What is frequency? Frequency is the times of observation that occurs how many times. Observation occurs how many times, that is called its frequency. The number of times an observation occurs. Okay, the number of times an observation occurs in the given data. The given data is called its frequency. Okay, the number of times an observation occurs in the given data is called its frequency. Then array or arrayed data. Next, array or arrayed data. See here, what was raw data? The data we have directly, without any arrangement, without any filters, that is called the raw data. Now what is array or array data? When we write the given data in a specific arrangement, either in ascending order or in descending order or in the serial order, whatever, by applying some specific filters, then the data is called array data or arrayed data. When the arrayed data, when the raw data is put in ascending or descending order, in ascending or descending order, then it is called array or arrayed data. That is called array or arrayed. That means in an arrangement, if the data is in a specific form of arrangement, then it is called the arrayed data. Okay, now next is range. Now next is range. Fourth one is range. Range is simple, the difference between the largest observation and the smallest observation. Okay, the difference between the largest and the smallest observation is called the range of data. Is called the range of data. Okay, so try to understand these concepts, but definitely when we start question related to this, you will get them in a better way. The difference between the largest and the smallest data. For example, if I take an example of WRT marks, okay, now the least marks among the student is 10 and the maximum marks are suppose 23. Then difference between 23 and 10, that is 13, is called the range of the data. Okay, so note it down, then we'll see the next terminologies. Okay, now next is classes or class intervals. Okay, next is classes or class intervals. Fifth one, classes or class intervals. Now what is classes or class intervals? See, the observations that we'll get are divided into some groups, and these groups are actually called the classes or class intervals. The observations are divided into groups. These groups are called class intervals or classes or class intervals. Okay, now next, after this, class limits. Next is class limits. Okay, the highest and the lowest observation of a class are called lower class limit and upper class limit. Okay, the highest, lowest observation and the lowest observation, the highest and the lowest observation of a class is called lower class limit and upper class limit respectively. Okay, For example, if I say 22, 30, 32, 40, these are the two class intervals, then 20 is the lower class limit, 30 is the upper class limit. Here 30 is the lower class limit, 40 is the upper class limit. Okay, that way we can write the lower class limit and the upper class limits. Now next is class boundary. Now this is very important concept, the seventh one, class boundary or actual class limit or true class limit. Either it is known as class boundaries or actual class limits or true class limits. Okay, these three things are known, are we can say are synonyms or the same things. Okay, class boundaries or actual class limits or true class limit. Now over here this is class limit, here I am talking about the actual class limit. There is a difference between these two. See, class limits or actual class limit. So actual class limit or class boundaries or true class we can find only when the class intervals are in exclusive form. R is an exclusive form. So in an exclusive form, the upper limit and the lower limits are known as true upper limit and true lower limit. Okay, in an exclusive form, upper limit and lower limit are known as true upper limit and true lower limit respectively. Okay, I'll explain you with one example. Okay, suppose I am taking two examples. First, suppose the class intervals are 22, 29, okay, 30 to 39, 40 to 49. Okay, another example I am taking, suppose 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40 and so on. Now if I talk about lower limit and upper limit, that means this, I am talking about the class limits. So here the class limits are, for the first class limits are 20 and 29. That means for first class lower limit is 20, upper limit is 29. For the second class this class limits are 30 and 39. That means for the second class lower limit is 30, upper limit is 39. Similarly for this, lower limit is 40, upper limit is 49. Okay, now over here again, for this class lower limit is 10, upper limit is 20, lower limit is 20, upper limit is 30, lower limit is 30, upper limit is 40. That was about class limits, that means lower class limit and the upper class limit. Okay, now if I say find the class boundaries of these classes, or if I say find the actual class limit, or if I say true class limit. So for this it is not possible to find the true class limits or the actual class limit in this case, because it defines in an exclusive form. So whenever you want to find the true class limits or actual class limits or class boundaries, the series must be in the exclusive form. So in first example, it is not possible to find the class boundaries directly. First we have to convert this into the exclusive form, then only it is possible to find true class limits. Okay, so that for a while we will skip this, because when we see that how to convert inclusive into exclusive, then we'll discuss this once again. Over here, if you have to find true class limits, that it is possible, because here classes are in the exclusive form. So in short, I can say, when the classes are in exclusive form, class limits and true class limits are the same. But when the observations are and when the classes are in inclusive form, then you will find the difference between the class limits and the true class limits. In short, simple, whenever you have to find true class limits or actual class limits or class boundaries, the given classes must be in the exclusive form. Okay, so that was about class boundaries or true class limits. Now next we will see class magnitude. Okay, after this we will see class magnitude. Eighth one is class magnitude. Okay, so let us see what class magnitude is. See, class magnitude is of a class interval. Class magnitude of a class interval is the difference between the upper limit and the lower limit. Class magnitude of a class interval is the difference between, okay, class magnitude of a class interval is the difference between its lower limit, between its upper limit and lower limit. Okay, again, if you carefully see, I am writing upper limit and lower limit. I am not writing true upper limit and true lower limit. Okay, to get the magnitude, you have to find the difference between the upper limit and the lower limit of a class interval. That means to get the class magnitude, not necessary the class intervals are in exclusive form. Either still, even though if the classes are in inclusive form, it is possible to find class magnitude. Okay, to get the class magnitude, simply we have to find the difference between upper limit and lower limit. So for this case, class magnitude is 29 minus 20, that is 9. For this it is 39 minus 30, that is 9. Here it is again 9. Okay, so class magnitude is difference between the upper limit and the lower limit. Okay, now next is class size. Okay, now next is class size. Ninth one is the class size. Now class size is something different from class magnitude. Okay, class size. Now class size is the difference between the class size of a class interval is the difference between its true upper limit and true lower limit. Okay, class size of a class interval is the difference between its true upper limit and true lower limit. In other words, I can say class size of a class interval is the difference between its class boundaries, or it is the difference between its actual class limits, or it is the difference between true class limits. So in short, magnitude is the difference between class limits, although this class size is the difference between true class limits. Okay, now there is a relation between class magnitude and class size. So first of all note it down, then I will give you that relation. Okay, so let us see the relation between these two. Okay, so do write in the form of a note. Class magnitude is equal to class size plus 2 multiplied by correction ratio. Now the very first thing, what correction ratio is. So definitely we'll come to this point, but as we are discussing this, so I gave you this relation. We'll come to this, what correction ratio is. Actually when we'll see that how to convert inclusive into exclusive, over there we need this as well. So we'll discuss these two things all together. Okay, so class magnitude is equal to, there is a change here, class size is equal to, not the magnitude, class size is equal to class magnitude, class size is equal to class plus 2 into correction ratio. Okay, after this next we will see class mark or mid value of the class. Okay, 10th one is class mark or mid value of class is the same thing. Okay, class mark or mid value of the class. See, name itself says, this name says the mid value of the class, exactly middle value of the class. So that is given by, I do write a formula. Simply I can say the average of class limits. That means true class limit plus, sorry, true lower class limit plus true upper class limit divided by 2. Okay, as it's a class mark, so it is also the average of class limits. That means whether the class limits are true or simply class limits, formula will be same. So class mark or this is given by lower class limit. Okay, I am writing it class mark in this way. Lower class limit plus upper class limit by 2. This can also be written as true lower class limit plus true upper class limit by 2. That means whether the class limits are true. Well, in both the cases, the class mark is the average of the class limits. Here, this is the average. Average means sum of observation divided by number of observations. So class limit is the average of, sorry, class mark is the average of class limits as well as it is the average of true class limits. Okay, here you can take one more note. See, there is also a relation between the class size and the class mark. Okay, class size and the class mark. Difference of two consecutive class marks is the class size. Okay, difference of two consecutive class marks is the class size. Okay, difference of two consecutive class marks is the class size. Okay. Okay, so note it down. Then we'll see uh, one more point, and then we come to the that how to convert inclusive series into exclusive series. Okay, so after this we'll take one more note. Suppose we have class mark and class size, both things are given, then how to find the classes. Okay, so for that one more note. If we have class mark as A and class size as H. Okay, so let it be note 1, and here do write note 2. If class mark is A and class size is H, then class intervals, then classes or class intervals, then class intervals are calculated as, or the true limits and class intervals on the lower limit class intervals are calculated as. So what will be the lower limit? See, when I say class interval, that means there must be a lower limit, there must be a upper limit. So lower limit is A minus H by 2 and upper limit is A plus H by 2. Okay, we'll see whenever we'll see question related to this, you will get these concepts in a better way. So if you are still not getting in proper way, just note it down. When we solve examples related to this, then it will be more clear to you. Okay, class mark and class size is given, then how to get the class interval, that means how to get the lower limit and the upper limit of the class. Okay, now finally we'll come to last concept, that is how to convert inclusive form into exclusive form. So heading is conversion of inclusive series into exclusive series. Okay, how to convert inclusive series into exclusive series. So to convert inclusive series into exclusive series, to convert inclusive series into exclusive series, subtract conversion ratio, from lower limits and add conversion ratio to upper limits. Okay, you have to add conversion ratio from lower, you have to subtract conversion ratio from lower limits, and you have to add conversion ratio into upper limits. Now what conversion ratio is, that I am giving over here. Okay, conversion ratio is equal to what? Okay, so I hope you noted down this. See, it's not difficult formula, just let me explain you. Suppose we have series 10 to 19, 22, 29, 32, 39, 49 and so on. This is inclusive form. I want to convert into an exclusive form. So what I have to do, I have to subtract something conversion ratio from lower limits, and I have to add that conversion ratio into upper limit. Now that what that conversion ratio is, actually conversion ratio is difference of these two. That means lower limit of any class, this is lower limit of any class minus upper limit of previous class divided by 2. Okay, when I say lower limit of any class, that means other than the first class, because if I take the lower limit of first class, I won't find the upper limit of the previous class, isn't it? So lower limit of any class minus upper limit of previous class by 2, that's conversion ratio. So what over here it is 20 minus 19 by 2, that is 1 by 2, 0.5. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to subtract this conversion ratio from the lower limit. If I subtract 0.5 from what I will get 9.5, and if I add this in here, I will get 19.5. Then again I have to subtract 0.5 from this, here 29.5, here 29.5, then 39.5, then 39.5 and 49.5. So you can see now these class intervals are in the exclusive form. So conversion ratio is lower limit of any class, lower limit of any class, but obvious other than first class, minus upper limit of preceding class. Okay. Just before that, divided by 2. Divided by 2. This is the formula to get the conversion ratio. Lower limit of any class, if you apply over here, then again you will get the same thing. 30 minus 29 is 1, divide by 2, 0.5. So note it down. Okay, so that is all about the theoretical portion of this statistics. Okay, now we'll come to the questions related to these concepts. Now actually this is not the end of the theory. Now we can say this is the first part of the theory. After that we'll see the graphical representation and then the central tendency, that is mean, mode, median. But before we move to that, we'll see question related to this concept. So very first question that I am going to take is from your textbook, page number 892. Okay, page 892. Example number 2. Example number 2. Okay, the data is given. The following data give the number of children in 20 families. Okay, the following data give the number give the number of children in 20 families. Okay, okay, so make an array of the above data and construct a frequency table. We have to construct a frequency table. So how to construct the frequency table? This is the very first question. However, we can say this question, these type of question you might be solved in when you were in class 8. Simply, first of all, we have to identify how many different type of variate is there, data is there. So if we can find 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so we'll make a table. This is the data which represent the number of children in a family. So very first block, here I do write number of children. Okay, in the next column I will take the telemark. This is the easiest way to count telemark. And in the third I will write the frequency. Okay, so now number of children are 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. That means I need 5 rows in this way. Okay, here I do write 1, 2, 3, 4 and finally over here I do write 5. Okay, now I have to write the telemarks and then by counting that I do write the frequency. So it is 5. So here I will mark 1 in this way, then 2. So over here, then 2 times 3, then 1, then 2 times 2. Okay, then 4, 2, then 5, then 4, then 5, then 4, then 2 times 1, then again 2, 3, 4. So when I take it 2, I have to make group of 5 because this is the 5th time. This is the way to make a bunch of 5. 2, then 3, then 4, then 2 times 1, 1 and this again 1, then 1 more 2, 1 more 3. So here simply this is 5. Easily I can 5 plus 1, 6. Over here it is 4, then 3, then 2. So this is the final answer. Number of children, telemark and frequency. Okay, here you can count as well. This gives you 20. So here you can add one column in this way and here you can write total is equal to 120. Here it is total. Total is 120. Okay, this is the way how to draw the frequency distribution table. This is for ungrouped data. Data is not in the grouped form. Okay, we'll also see how to draw the frequency distribution table for grouped data. Okay, after this we'll see the next question. Okay, okay, so this is the next question taken from page 893, example 4. The data is given, data gives the marks out of 50 obtained by 30 students of a class in a test. You have to represent this data in inclusive form as well as in exclusive form. So inclusive form, that means the upper limit will be included, and the exclusive form and the upper limit we won't include. So in your textbook it is given that they are arranging this data first in the ascending or descending order, which is actually not required. The only thing that you need to get the range, that means to get the minimum marks and the maximum marks. So if you observe carefully, the minimum mark is 1. Okay, this is the minimum mark, and the maximum mark, I think it is 48. Okay, 46. You have to check in that way, which is the maximum mark. So maximum marks are 48. So now you have to prepare the class intervals in such a way that minimum and the maximum both must be included in that. So first I am taking in the inclusive form. Okay, inclusive form. Okay, so let us see how to, the only thing that is difficult or the tricky, that what should be the class intervals, that's it. Other than that, it's simply tally mark and the counting, that is the frequency. So here marks. Okay, so it gets start from 1, so 1 should be there, so I can start with 1 to 10, then 11 to 20, because there isn't any mark which is in decimal, so I can go in this way, 1 to 10. Okay, then 11 to 20, then 21 to 30, then 31 to 40, and finally 41 to 50. This includes all the marks. As we saw, the minimum was 1, which will come over here, and the maximum was 48, which will definitely come over here. Now here I do write tally mark. Okay, if you are arranging in ascending and descending order, it will definitely make easy to write the tally mark, but definitely it will take some extra time as well. So whatever you find easy, you can go with, but that is sure that it is not required to write the data in the ascending or descending order. Okay, here I write frequency. Okay, now simply I have to count, I have to check which particular mark will come in which group. So 40, so definitely it will come over here. So according, then 12, so this will come over here, then 46. Okay, so this will over here, then 37, 17. So 37 will be there, 17 will come over here, then 27, so over here, then 30, so 30 will come over here as well. Okay, then 6, this, then 2 over here, then 23 I will take over here, then 19 and 39. So 19 and 39, then 25 and 5. So 25 and 5, then 33, 19. So 33 and 19. Okay, then 21 and 12. So 21, 12. Okay, then 41, 17. So 41, 17. Okay, then 19, 17. So 19 will come over here as well as 17 will come over here. then 12, 8, 12 over here, 8 over here, then 10 and then 1, so 10 will come over here, 1 also will come over here, 9, 21, so 9 and 21, 13, 48, 13 and 48. Okay, so it's simple. 5 plus 2, 7, here it is 10, here it is 6, then 5, then 4 and then 3. So here you can reverse check. 6 plus 4, 10, 10 plus 10, 20, 20 plus this 30. So 30 students. This is the inclusive form. Now if I take exclusive form, then what I have to do? Same thing. The only thing here, I took 1 to 10, then 11 to 20. So I will take 1 to 10, then 10 to 20 and so on. Exclusive form. Okay, so here marks, first I do write marks, then telemark. Okay, and finally I do write frequency. Okay, so again here I am going to make 5 classes. The first one is 1 to 10. Second class I will take from 10 to 20. Third class I will take from 20 to 30. Then fourth class I will take from 30 to 40. Okay, then 40 to 50. Okay, in this way I will take the classes. Okay, now over there you have to take care of one thing, that if there is a mark 10, then definitely I won't take it in this class. I will take in this one. Here exclusive says upper limits are excluded. Okay, so 1 to 10. Okay, so 40, but obvious 40 won't come over here because it is exclusive. So here I will take 40. Then 12, so over here 12. Then 46, 37, 46, 37. Okay, then 17, 27. 17 will come over here, 27 over here. Okay, 27, then 30 and 6. So 30, again 30 won't come over here, it will come over here. So 30, then 6. Then 2, 23, 19. So 2, 23 and 19. And 39, 25. 39, 25. 39, 25. Then 5, 33. 5, 33. Okay. Then 19, 21. Okay, so 19 will come over here and 21 will be there. Okay, then 12, 41. So 12 and 41. 12 and 41. 17 over here. Then 19, 17. So 19 again over here, 17 again over here. Then 12, 8. 12 is again over here, 8 will be there. Then 10, 1. Now 10 won't come over here, 10 will come in this. So 10. Then 1. Okay, 10, then 1. 9, 21. 9 will come over here, 21 over here. 13, 48. So 13 will be there and 48 will be there. So over here we have 6, then 11, then 5, then 4, then 4. Okay, here again see 4 plus 5 plus 11, that is 20, 6 plus 4, 20. So this is the total 30 student. Okay, so please note it down. Okay, you can see the exclusive form that I gave you and whatever is in the book have the different answer. Okay, because the class marks are different. Here I took 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50 and so on. And over there they had taken 1 to 11, 11 to 21 and so on. So there might be a change in the answer, depends on the marks or the intervals that we have selected. So don't worry about that. Okay, so this is the next question taken from page 894, example 5. We have to form a grouped frequency distribution from the given data by inclusive method, taking 4 as the magnitude of the class interval. So two conditions are given. First, that frequency distribution table must be in the inclusive form, as well as magnitude of the class interval must be 4. Now in the theory part we saw magnitude is the difference between the class limits, difference between the class limit, not the true class limits. Okay, so it means we have to set a class limit in such a way their difference must be 4. If the difference of the class limits will be 4, definitely the magnitude will become 4. Now to start with, first of all we need the lowest and the maximum observation of the data. So here lowest observation, if you observe, is 10 and 34. Okay, I took it from book only. The lowest observation is and the maximum is 34. So we have to make the class intervals in such a way that 10 must be covered as well as 34 must be covered. So let us see how to draw this. So here I do write, see this is the from the following data. So class intervals, it is not given whether they are weight or marks, rupees, whatever. So I do write class interval. Okay, this is the first column. Okay, in second I do write telemarks, and in the third I do write frequency. Now how many classes we have to form or how many classes must be there? Simply no need to calculate that. We have to start from the very smallest value, that is 10. And as I have to keep the magnitude as 4, what I have to do? Simply 10 plus 4, 14. So that should be the first class. Only then I will get the magnitude as a 4. Now what should be the next class? As it is inclusive, that means upper limit must be included, or inclusive is also discontinuous, that means where it will end, next class should not start from that. That means it will start from 15 only. So in the book you can see they are finding range, then they are finding number of class intervals, no need to find that. But obviously it will start from the 10 and we have to write the class intervals in such a way that will get the maximum value as well. So 10 to 14, then 15 plus 4, 19. Okay, then I will start from 20, so 20 plus 4, 24. Then next I will start from 25, so 25 plus 4, 29. Okay. Next I will start from 30 and I will go up to 34. That's it, no need to classes, how many classes will be there. We have to take care only one thing, that it should be magnitude must be 4, class intervals must be in the inclusive form, and lowest and the maximum value should be there in the class intervals. Okay, so these are the class intervals. Now we'll start with the telemark. instead of going in this way, I am taking these two. It will save my time. 31, 12. This is 31 and this is 12. Then 23, 30. 23, 30. Then 19, 27. 19, 27. Then 29, 23. 29, 23. 22, 20. Then 22 over here as well as 20 is over here. Then 20 and 17. So 20, 17. 16, 14. So 16 will come over here, 14 will come over here. Then 10, 32. Okay. 10 will come over here and 32 that will take over here. Now 13 and 26. So 13 and 26. Okay. Then 34, 25. 34 and 25. So 34, 25. Okay. Then 34, 18. So 34, 18. Okay, not 18 over here, 18 will come over here. Okay, 34, 18. Now 33, 29. Okay, so 33, 29. Okay, 28, 24. So 28 will come over here, 24 is over here. Then 21 and 19. So 21 and 19. Okay, now 15, 16. So 15 over here, 16 is also there. Okay, then 18 and 11. So 18 over here and 11 over here. Then 34, 22. So 34 and 22. Okay, now 34, 22, 24, 15. 24 and 15. Okay, 24, 15. Then 18, 17. So 18, 17. Last, finally 15 and 10. So 15 and 10. Okay, so here this is frequency 6. Over here it is 12. Over here it is 9. Okay, then 6 and then 7. Okay, so these are the this is the way to draw the frequency distribution table on the given condition. Magnitude was 4 and the class intervals were inclusive. Okay, so please note it down. Okay, so I hope this concept is clear to you. Okay. Now we'll see the next question. And that next question I am taking from page number 895, question number 7. Page 895, example 7. Okay, class mark of a frequency distribution R. Question is class marks of a frequency distribution R are 6, 10, 14, 6, 10, 14, 18, 22, 18, 22, 26, 30. 26, 30. Find the class size and the class interval. Find the class size and the class intervals and the class intervals. Okay, let us see how to solve this. See, if you remember the theory part, over there we discussed if class marks are given, how to find the class size. In the point of class mark, I gave you a note, the difference of two consecutive class marks is the class size. Okay, so class size, first of all, here I do write class size is the difference of two consecutive class marks. Okay, class marks. Therefore, class size, I am taking it h, is equal to 10 minus 6 or 14 minus 10 or 18 minus 14 or 22 minus 18, whatever, it will remain same only, that is 4. Class size is 4. Okay, now class marks are given. So now we have a formula. If class mark is given, okay, if you remember, if the class mark is A and class size is h, then lower limit is equal to A minus h by 2. Upper limit is A plus h by 2. That I gave you again a note under the section of class mark. That means if we have a class mark and class size, we can find the class intervals. So we'll do for two class intervals and the remaining will write according to the pattern. So for first class lower limit is equal to 6 minus 4 by 2, that is 3. Okay, upper limit is equal to 6 plus 4 by 2, that is 8. 6 minus 2, that is I think 4. Okay, class mark A minus h by 2. Class mark is A, h is 4, 4 by 2. We have, this is the lower limit of the first class and that is the upper limit. A minus by 2, A plus h by 2. Okay, so 6 minus 2, 6 plus 2. So 4, 8. So here I like it. Therefore, first class is 4 to 8. Now for second class, lower limit is equal to, now for the second class, this is the class mark, so 10 minus 4 by 2, that is 8, and upper limit is 10 plus 4 by 2, that is 12. Okay, so second class interval is 8 to 12. Okay, therefore second class interval is 8 to 12. Now how many class marks are given? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As 7 class marks are given, 7 class intervals will be there. So now I do write on the similar pattern. So here I do write this class intervals are I do write all the class 4 to 8, then 8 to 12, 12 plus 4 16, 16 plus 4 20, 20 plus 4 24, 24 plus 4 28, 28 plus 4 32. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. These are the class intervals. So please note it down. Okay, so this is the next question taken from page number 896, example number 10. The question says the weight in grams of 25 oranges picked at random from a consignment are as follows. Okay, these are the weights of 25 oranges in grams. So what we have to do, we have to form a grouped frequency table by dividing the variable range into 10 intervals of equal weight. The very first condition, that grouped frequency distribution table must be there. Second thing, the intervals of equal width. Equal width matlab, that means class intervals must be of the same size. Okay, each corresponding to 10 grams. So here they are giving you very first thing, that is class size must be 10. Okay, so here what we have, class size, that is h is equal to 10. Now further it is written in such a way that the mid value of first class corresponds to 50 gram. That means whatever will be the first class interval that we are going to make, its mid value must be 50. That means here I can say class size is h and a, that is mid value or the class mark, that is 50. So when we have class size, when we have class mark or mid value, okay, class mark or mid value is the same thing. Class mark A is equal to 50, then it is then we know how to find the lower limit and the upper limit. So for the first class we'll find the lower limit and the upper limit, and remaining I do write on the basis of the pattern. So we have h and a. So first class interval or simply first class will be how much? How to write that? We know a minus h by 2 is the lower limit and a plus h by 2 is the upper limit. So first class is, or the class interval is a minus h by 2, and this is hyphen, this is not the minus sign, a plus h by 2. So first class interval will be 50 minus 10 by 2, that is 5, and 50 plus 10 by 2, that is 5. That means first class interval will be 45 to 55. Okay, 45 to 50. This is the first class interval. Now remaining class intervals definitely will write as per the pattern. Now before I move ahead, definitely I have to check what is the minimum and the maximum value. Okay, minimum value, here it is 58, minimum value is 58. Okay, minimum value is 50. Till now minimum value is 50. So even though I write with 45 to 55, definitely this will be included in that. Okay, and this is also given that first class must be this. Now okay, other than that, yes, 50 is the minimum. Now what about maximum, I think it is 127, but still do check. 107. Just concentrate on the 3-digit number and check whether it is more than 127 or not. Yes, 128 is the last. Okay, 128 is the maximum number. So here I do write the weight in gram. Okay, so what here I am going to write the 10 or 9 or 7, whatever the number of class interval that I have to check how many class intervals will be there, because I have to cover the minimum and the maximum both. So very first is 45 to 55. Okay, then next it should be 55 to 65. Okay, then next it should be 65 to 75. In that way I have to move. Next it must be 65 to 75. 65 to 75. Next 75 to 85. Okay, then 85 to 95. Then 95 to 105. Then 105 to 115. Then 115 to 125. Now 125 to 135, that will be the last. How I get to know? Because 128 will be in the last class in this way. Okay, so in that much class intervals we have to form. So let me complete this. Here I do write telemark. Okay, and finally in the last column I do write frequency. Okay, so let me join the last one first and then remaining. Okay, now the next thing is we'll fill this in by using the telemark. So 85, 72. So 85, now this is the exclusive class interval. So upper limits we won't include. So 85 will come over here. Then 72 definitely over here. Then 58, 115. 58, 115. Okay, 115 is the upper limit, so I will take in this column 115. 107, 91. 107 over here. 91 over here. 61, 68. 61 over here. 68 over here. Then 60, 50, 90. Okay, so 60 over here, 50 over here, 60, 50 and 90 I will get in this block. Okay, 60, 50, 90. Then 57, 62. 57, 62. 62 is also there. 57, 62 both will be there. Then 102, 65. 102, 65. So 102 will be there and 65. 65 definitely won't come in this, it will come over here 65. Then 105, again it won't come over here, so 105. Now 55, 98. 55 won't come over here, it will come here 55. Then 98. 98 will be here. Okay, 98 will be here. Then 127, 99. So 127 in the last one and 99 over here. Okay, then 69, 69. 69 should come over here. 69. Then 128 again it will go in the last one. 52. So 52 will be over here, then 78, okay, 78, then finally 66, okay. So this gives you 2, over here it is 6, then 5, then 1, then 3, again 3, again 2, then 1, then 2. So this is the frequency distribution table with the given conditions. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you that how to use these concepts. See, class size and class mark were given. So first I got the first class using the formula that this is the lower limit, this is the upper limit. Again I am saying this is not the minus sign. Lower limit, upper limit. So lower limit is 50 minus 5 by 2 using the formula a minus h by 2, and upper limit is a plus h by 2. So here I got the first class interval. Okay, on the basis of that I wrote the remaining class intervals, keeping that thing in mind that the maximum value, that is 128, should be there. Suppose for a while here instead of 128 I have 137. So then in that case I have to include one more class which starts from 135 to 145 in that way. Okay, so please note it down. Okay, so that is all about this lecture. Now we'll meet in next lecture. Till then, bye. Thank you. Take care. Stay at